Z across LC with your hosts, Jeff Alsman and Cody Zipman.
And welcome to another edition of the A2Z Across LC podcast. I'm Jeff Alsman. Cody Zipman
I'm back,
is
baby!
back after a few weeks off being other duties
6
as assigned or just playing around or whatever it was he was doing. Cody is back and just in time because this is our last episode for season number 2.
I'm just going to say I'm proud of you. Wow. 2 seasons. Can you believe that? 2 seasons already?
It is kind of hard to believe, isn't it?
I can't believe that we got through the first.
Well, I can't either.
2 seasons. Proud of you guys. Proud of Lem. Proud of O.
Well, we should let everybody know that, we have asked producer O and the legend himself, Mike Lemons, to sit in here for our introduction of our last podcast for this season. We should thank Mike, certainly, for setting in for you.
He's the man.
Yeah, thank you for being back. Thank you, really. Thank you for being back.
Yeah, come on. You did a good job.
I'm grateful he sat in that way. I didn't have to.
Yeah.
You didn't switch off?
Well, it was supposed to be a switch off.
Something
always happened to where,
it just never worked out.
I don't know why. You guys got way better voices than me.
I got played is, I think, what happened.
Why didn't you guys change the name on that, by the way?
That's a lot of work for the editor to go in and change the name on that.
Well, and speaking of that, I've just heard this through the grapevine, but while you were gone, the editing time took much less time because the editor didn't have to drop in all these crazy little things that you request out of the clear blue sky.
So in this recording, I should start pointing up, like, what do you got us for today? Like, you got us parade? Oh, yeah, I can point up and say, hey, look, there's a parade going across. Like,
that's a dangerous game you're playing. When I see it before it gets posted, I'm the last one to see it before
That's true.
That's a dangerous game.
He can take some liberties there.
I will. I'm going to tell you this, that I was driving the van the other day, and the kids asked me,
here we go.
Hey, A to Z podcast, when did it turn into 60 minutes? And I turned around, I was like, how'd you know about 60 minutes, man?
You know what?
They don't. That's why we can tell you're lying right now.
You know what? Actually, it went from 60 minutes to 45 minutes.
Oh, boo! That was good.
Because you weren't here to drag out the segments.
Just to finish it, that was good ad-lipping right there, my friend. That was good ad-lipping. Oh, right now should be all my terms to the side that I've said all
it's probably going to go back
through all the shows?
Looking through all
it won't be.
Ad-lipping.
Yes. I'm still trying to, I've Googled that several times. I've not been able to find out what that is.
Yeah. So. Favorite point? Are we okay? We got to wrap this up real quick.
Okay.
But favorite show of the year?
Oh, my.
Oh, you're going to say the holiday show, probably.
Dude, how'd you know? That's an easy one, the singing, but we're probably not doing that next year.
Oh, we can do that next year.
Jeff's got some
You guys
plans.
are, you're great that you've had 2 seasons, right? There's going to be a 3rd season kicking off.
Unless we get cancel cultured or cultured.
That's what I'm getting to.
Who's on the show today?
No. I'm just
because
isn't
we
that
have
what they call it though? If you get canceled,
well, let's not do any of that.
Well,
because I think I'll be the one catching the.
This is where the editor will put a disclaimer.
Yeah, down at the bottom.
The views expressed.
We're not talking about it. It just says we are.
Well, but I hopefully after season 3 we'll have a tough decision to make because we have some really talented students that we might want to push you guys out of the studio and put others in.
Oh,
so I'm not going to say anything.
So we've been the guinea pigs.
Yes, and also I don't really think that's a bad idea, right? Maybe not both, but like bringing them in a rotation.
Well, I think the students doing podcasts
rotations don't happen right here, from what I've learned over the last couple months.
Gotcha. That's right.
What's supposed to be a rotation?
What happened to that?
When are we going to rotate the editing duties? We do that.
See, it's a team,
right? We do that, and then I'll host, and then I'll edit, and then I'll switch.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think what he's saying is we have to make sure we get good enough guests during year 3 that they won't want to get rid of us.
It's true. I agree.
But no, you guys have done you've done a good job.
Well, you have too, especially keeping us organized, right?
Oh.
We did in year 2. We kind of went through a transition
behind the scenes. Streamlined it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And
yet we're blowing that out of the water right now with this.
Yes,
we are.
Aren't we? That's true. But we've got some ideas looking ahead to year 3. Then we might add some things that are going to be.
I heard we're going to go more on site.
Oh, I didn't.
You heard that?
Oh, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that.
Oh, a joke.
That's all on him. I hadn't.
I'll loan you the equipment and wish you luck.
I will say this. I have heard through the grapevine that like digital streaming, the program budget is like tripling next year. And that we're probably going to have some back help, which means that's going to allow us to go because it's been such a success.
I hadn't heard that either.
Who'd you hear that from?
I'm not saying any names.
I haven't either. I run the program. I don't know anything about that.
Wink, wink, hit.
So I get on the phone and call accounting. So triple the budget, huh? They're going to go, what?
Oh, yeah. I think, did Mary say it?
Cody said so.
Oh, Mary,
Yeah.
I joke. I love you. I love
Cody
you.
approved it.
Well, if I ever said something like, well, Cody said, oh.
Oh, yeah.
That's usually people stop listening.
Have you gotten that response too? I've gotten that before too.
A lot.
Yeah.
That happens all the time.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway, today's show.
Yeah, well, and before we do that, we do want to thank you guys because I mean, what we do, we have a lot of fun with it. But you guys clean it up. You guys make it what it is. I was going to say good, but I don't know if I should say that. But you guys
are good.
Some are.
Some
good.
have been known to be good.
Okay. Yeah. Well, if it is, it's probably because of what you guys do. So,
and just real quick,
give
a pitch for the program. Because I think the program's completely changed this year, right? Like a complete skyrocket?
So we renamed the program. It used to be radio broadcasting. Now it's digital streaming and broadcast media. And for a while now, we haven't done just radio. The name didn't reflect that. So we're doing anything content creation, distribution, whether it's audio, video, in front of the mic, behind the mic, in front of the camera, editing. We kind of do all of it now. And this is one of our new studios. And yeah.
And every time we break for a commercial, that is a Producer O creation, correct?
Every time, mostly.
Yeah, so.
Mostly. Well, you know what? I want to give a shout out to Caitlin Wilkerson. That's the voice who sings the A to Z. Mm-hmm. She actually came in and took the footage that I had shot of the library, and she put that one together. So Caitlin's voiceover and editing, she edited that. And what's so cool about that is that's sort of how this whole thing is supposed to work.
And that's how we started talking about it.
It's exactly right.
Student involvement.
Yep. We need an avenue for the students to be out here to show what they're actually able to do. And we have changed the program. I went through the radio broadcasting program when it was just radio. And so I did really well in radio. And then now we've kind of expanded because everything has a visual element. We have students who are already out of the program working in newsrooms, working in video editing.
Name drop. Do it right now.
Well, just today we have a student who got his internship paperwork today, and he's going to work to do video editing.
St. Louis. Yep.
In St. Louis.
Yeah.
So,
and they're turning into jobs. The internships are turning into jobs right here in St. Louis. So we're touching them all.
And Jeff, you met a couple of them in a couple episodes ago where we had Carissa, who was fantastic. Her voice is
she's got an outstanding voice. You got to go back and listen.
And then Jake is very strong. I mean, it's a very strong class, and most of them taking a video podcasting course in the fall. So that means they'll learn all of this instead of Dave and I sitting here. It'll be them sitting here producing for you guys. And
this just came to me out of nowhere, but sometime in the fall, I would think we would be getting close to announcing our first recipient of the A to Z podcast scholarship.
Who selects that?
The digital. I think you guys at least
I'll do it.
Look through. You'll do it.
I'll do it.
I think you guys at least have input on it. I don't know who makes the final decision. But
as a teacher, I told the class one time, as an instructor here, nobody's ever brought me an apple. Teachers get apples sometimes. 2 classes later, girl walks in, bag of apples from Schnucks.
Let's go.
There you go.
So. Like,
overachiever.
Right. It's like a bag of apples. Trying to get that grade bumped up. A bag of apples.
I like it.
Well
that's
could have
cool.
been worse.
So that's how I'll decide the scholarship. I don't know. I'm not the one deciding.
Maybe a few of the episodes next season will be in our other studio, which is a different setup. So
I think we should do all of it.
We'll take that on the road next door.
There you go.
I just want, if you're a young person out there, just in your backyard around here, just realize there's some real resources here at Lewis and Clark.
Absolutely.
This program is one of them, and I just don't think enough people realize that. And you have that right in your backyard. So check us out.
Absolutely. Yep. Speaking of check us out, today on the program, we're going to talk with Scott Isringhausen. He's going to tell us all about the Two Rivers Family Fishing Fair up at Marquette Park. It's in June. It's always fantastic. And then we're going to spend some time talking with some folks about the Alton Memorial Day Parade and the Memorial Day program out in Bethalto. So we kind of have a patriotic Memorial Day finish to
Best
our
way to finish
season.
It actually works out perfect, right? We start right after July 4th, and we end right around Memorial Day.
There you go. Well, shall we get to it?
Let's go. Let's go to work.
send us out.
We are
LC A to Z.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been a process operator. Yeah, my path could have been in graphic design.
Welcome back to our A to Z Across LC podcast. Jeff Alsman here, Cody Zipman alongside. And Cody, this is going to be fun. We have with us one of the renowned outdoorsmen, highly knowledgeable people when it comes to anything outdoors. Scott Isringhausen is with us, and he's here to talk about the Two Rivers Family Fishing Fair that's going to be going on at Pere Marquette Park. Scott, welcome to the program. And Cody, if you have any outdoor questions, this is the man to ask right here.
Don't believe everything he says, but thanks for having me here. I sure appreciate it.
Scott, it's good to have you. I'm trying to, like I was lectured on, I'm trying to stay even keel. Calm waters, we may say.
Well,
to you, right? We want them calm waters for fishing, right?
And Scott doesn't know, occasionally Cody has a tendency to get a little overexcited, and sometimes he'll get a little loud without giving us any warning, and so blows everybody's ears out.
And did they tell you it's like my first time back in like 6 weeks?
They did.
So that's like three or four shows.
We prepared him
so
well.
You're getting all of this?
They warned me before you walked in here.
I got you. But we got to be quiet when we're fishing. So
that's a nice segue.
You know what I mean?
But it's not going to be quiet at the Family Fishing Fair because, we'll let Scott to thousands of people. So tell us a little bit about what's going to happen at the event.
Well, first of all, it's June the 7th, which is a Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Be prepared to be there for at least a couple hours, but we will have 30 different activities plus some special attractions. But some of the real popular stations we have the trout pond where the kids can actually catch a trout, take it and have the fish cleaned, and then actually eat the fish that they just caught. We'll have a 4,000-gallon aquarium there. We'll be shooting bows and arrows, not at real fish, but at fake fish. We'll be doing several different types of casting opportunities, everything called one cast to pitch and flip, which the pitch and flip was a thing that our good friend Larry Reed, which he talked about a little while ago, he's the person that thought up that station. We'll have some basic stations for the kids, like the fish spit station, a little angler's station where they have some water with some little fish that swim around it with a magnet on it, which is really neat for the little kids. So we'll have quite a few different stations. We'll have fish ID. We'll have first aid tackle box station. We'll have the good fisherman station. We'll have jug fishing. We'll even have a taxidermist there from the local area, and they're going to talk about how to, if you catch a fish, they'll take the measurements of it and actually put it back in the water and let it survive for another day to be caught. Then we'll have some of the popular attractions like we've had in the past, such as Camel the Clown. If anybody's ever had the opportunity to see Camel the Clown, you won't find a more entertaining, energetic person. And he talked about getting loud. He will definitely get loud. He'll do bird calls, he'll do animal calls, he'll have snakes on the ground, he'll have the kids hopping like a frog. I mean, he is a one of a kind. And then we talked earlier about a couple new people this year, one being Jimmy Houston, which I don't know if you've ever heard of Jimmy Houston before, but Jimmy Houston,
for sure.
The big-time fisherman, he's coming up from, I think it is Oklahoma. He will be there that day. He's going to do a couple little seminars and talks right from the aquarium on the ground. He said he didn't want to get up on high, but he will be on the ground and do a couple programs there, and he'll be there to take pictures, answer questions, and sign autographs. And then somebody else that I'm super excited about is Mountain Man from Duck Dynasty. And I've got to talk to him 3 or 4 times in real over the phone, and he sounds just like on the phone as he does in real. So that's kind of our real big activities that we're going to have. And, you think about this fair, it truly is to get kids hooked on the outdoors or hooked on fishing instead of the lesser desirable things that are truly out there. And you know what? It's 100% free, so it doesn't cost anything to come to the Two Rivers Family Fishing Fair.
And all the equipment is provided.
All the equipment is provided, and then every single child, which goes to at least 10 of the 30 different activities, will actually get to go home with a prize as well. So it's a great family outing. Isn't going to cost you anything, and you're really going to learn a lot about the outdoors and especially a lot about fishing.
So when Jimmy Houston stands in front of that big 4,000 gallon or whatever it is aquarium, do all the fish like run to the backside so that he can get as far away from him as possible?
They might. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see because I've never actually met him in person, and I've really been dealing with his daughter. But anyway, I'm super excited. You know, as a youngster, Jimmy Houston was always a legend of mine, kind of like the Ozzie Smith of baseball.
Sure.
So I'm super excited to have Jimmy here this year for sure.
I got to fish with his wife one time. There was a bass tournament coming to St. Charles, and it was a women's bass tournament, and I was working there at the St. Charles Journal at the time. So we were going to cover it, do a story on it. So I got to go out and fish a full day's tournament with her. I didn't catch anything. She caught one bass. It wasn't a great day for fishing, but it was a really fun day. And I talked to her mostly about her husband. I hope she wasn't offended or anything, but that's who I was really interested in was Jimmy, to be honest.
Well, that's awesome. And I'm hoping that will draw a lot of people. And I think it will. If the word gets out, I think people are going to be pretty amazed to have somebody like that at our fishing fair this year for sure.
So can adults participate too, or is it mostly, I mean, some of the stuff, the flipping and things like that, that sounds like more adult oriented?
Well,
or does
the
it
whole
really
thing is really kind of for kids, but then we have kind of some of the activities such as the Jimmy Houston and some of the shows that are going to be going on. So there are things for adults to do, but as far as to participate and get a prize, that part of it is just for the kids. But there's plenty there for adults to do and see there for sure. And we have our law enforcement people there, so if somebody has a question, fishing rule or hunting rule or regulation, that opportunity will be there as well.
So talk about your team and all this. I mean, 36th annual. You got stars coming. I'm sure you have a great team that puts this all together. Like what's the logistics of all this?
Well, it's a pretty big undertaking, and thinking about 36 years, I used to have a lot of hair when I started, so that's why I wear this hat. But it is. I mean, it is definitely a team. The big people that are in charge of it is the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, the Army Corps of Engineers, and Illinois Department of Natural Resources. But in addition to that, it takes over 200 volunteers to actually make the day happen, about 250 to be honest with you. So if there's any listeners out there that would like to call and volunteer, that would be awesome and greatly appreciated. You can email me at Pere Marquette State Park, which is Scott.Isringhausen at Illinois.gov, or call the Pere Marquette State Park at 618-786-3323. But in addition to that, we have many local banks that actually sponsor us or help us as well, and we have some really big sponsors. Number one, Conoco Phillips, which is our biggest sponsor, and then Farm and Home, which you can see I'm wearing a Farm and Home out here today. They're really, really big as well. And then we have actually 2 state farms right here from Godfrey, plus two from Jerseyville, and then 1 from Carrollton, which are big sponsors as well. The Jersey County Board, Walmart from Jerseyville. These people all help us to make this happen. So it's awesome. It's a big undertaking getting the volunteers and the sponsorship and kind of the coordination to actually put this thing together for sure.
You're talking my language, volunteers and sponsors. I love it.
So now you're from the school here. So now if you can talk some of these students into volunteering for
you're on my radar. Once you said all that, it's on my.
He's got almost 200 athletes. He might be able to
get
a couple of buses.
I'd feel grateful. I'd be really grateful, honestly.
So what's the overall mission? Is it more to just introduce the next generation to the outdoors and to fishing in particular? Is it more of an educational piece where learn how to manage wildlife with the catch and release, or obviously the idea is to have a fun day? It sounds like it's kind of a combination of all of that.
It really is. In the beginning when we started this, there wasn't these cell phones, there wasn't computers, and the kids were outside. But I guess my goal is to truly, get the kids outside, to get them off their phones, and hopefully get them hooked on wildlife and nature. So some of the lesser desirable things that are out there. So as time goes on, I think it's more and more important than what it was even 25 or 30 years ago to get the kids outside. But it truly is all about education, all about teaching, but learning the right way to do things and learning about nature. Not everybody, mom and dad, child has a chance to learn how to fish, and this is just such a great thing that you can do for your entire life.
So can you just talk just a little bit more, because we're in education and athletics and stuff, and I'm intrigued by that change. We're always trying to keep, I said, the kids' attention and stuff. So how has that changed with this event? Like, have you noticed a change just in the kids in general as technology comes into play? And
they have changed a lot. You know, you ask a kid what is a catfish, they're going to look it up on their phone. They're not going to go out and touch it or not feel. You know, so it is. And you know, my goal is to actually get them to get out there and touch that fish, feel that fish, and know what it's like to catch a fish. So it's really a different world than when I started.
So one more, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm just intrigued down there. So when you go, I like that one station where you literally are catching. So what are we going to call it? We're calling it from pond to table. So what's their reaction because do they actually gut it and clean it and everything from there?
Actually, we have some other folks that clean the fish for them, so you pick it. But I will share a story, and this probably happens almost each year. I remember in particular 2 years ago, there's this cute little young lady that caught this trout about this big, took it up, and is going to have their fish cleaned. And they thought they meant it was going to clean it off, and they chopped it up. It wasn't real good. So that is a true story, too.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
It's always a fun event, and thousands of people attend every year. And it sounds like this one might even be bigger with the special guests that you have that are really well-known in the outdoors world in particular. So it sounds like it's going to be a really, really fun time. Tell people again the particulars about the event, and then also how they can get a hold of you if they'd like to volunteer or if they have any specific questions.
Sure. The event is, again, June the 7th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., and be prepared to be there for a couple hours because it's going to take you that long to go through, everything, to actually see everything and get the chance to go to the station.
What about parking at Marquette Park?
We park across the road, so we'll say a prayer that the river doesn't get up or it's real muddy. So most of the parking will be across the road. Now, if there is some special needs, like a handicapped person, we will have some parking they're by where the visitor center and log cabin is, but the majority of it will be across the road adjacent from the lodge. And
if people want to volunteer or have special questions, how do they get in touch with you?
Sure, and again, I'd be so grateful. That's really the hardest part. Money and the volunteerism is the hardest part to make this happen. But yes, you can call Pere Marquette State Park at 618-786-3323, or you can email me at scott.isringhausen@illinois.gov. And I will give you a cell phone number. My cell phone number is 618-535-6237. And like I said, that would be anybody that's willing to help would be greatly, greatly appreciated.
Well, I know you're looking forward to it. I can tell, and I'm a big fishing guy, so I look forward to it. And Cody, I don't know, are you a fisherman?
Long time ago. Really, tell you the truth.
You need to get back into it. This would be a great way to get the kids exposed.
I'm thinking about it with the extra time I have. So
there you go.
Well, Lim got that one.
Yeah. Thanks so much for being with us, Scott, and I hope it's a great day. Hope the weather is fantastic, and you guys just fill up the park up there.
Well, thank you for having me here. And again, please bring your kids. It's a great day. It's fun. It's free. And like I said, I think people will be amazed if you've never been to the event. It's a pretty neat thing and a pretty special thing to do with the kids for sure.
When we come back, we're going to be talking about Memorial Day celebrations here around the area, and we'll do that right after this.
We are
LC A2Z. Welcome to Lewis and Clark Reed Memorial Library. Let me show you around. We're not just about studying. It's a place to unleash your creativity and connect with others. Grab a snack, sip on some coffee, and dive into a board game or puzzle. Want to make something cool? We've got 3D printers and Cricut machines to bring your ideas to life. And if you need research help, we've got you covered. Whether you're working on a project or just kicking back with friends, the library's got everything you need to succeed and have fun while doing it. Oh, I almost forgot. Books. We've got those too. Whether you're into graphic novels, young adult, sci-fi, or biographies, we've got it all. So whether you're here to study, create, or just relax, the library's got something for everyone. So come on in and make the library your own.
Welcome back to the A to Z Across LC podcast. Jeff Alsman here, Cody Zipman back in the co-host chair. And Cody, we're going to talk about Memorial Day celebrations for the remainder of our podcast. And we have a couple of folks who handle the Alton Parade, the Memorial Day Parade. Steve Schwartz is with us, as well as Greg Erler. Guys, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Welcome, guys. Hey, I wasn't aware. I thought parade, 6 weeks off, and you were throwing me a parade because I'm back with you?
No, your parade comes later.
I'm kind of coming down like right now. I thought we were talking about prepping for the parade here for me.
You haven't earned quite that status yet, especially not the status of being one of the oldest, if not the oldest.
I heard the oldest
Memorial Day Parade.
We're like making that a fact right now on this show.
In the country. What do you guys think?
We're going with the oldest, most consecutive since 1868.
Let's go.
That's 158 years.
158 consecutive years. Wonder what the first one looked like.
You know, I wasn't there at that time.
No, I wasn't insinuating that.
But Jeff, were you?
No, I wasn't either.
You just missed it, right, Steve?
I just missed it.
But from there to where it is today, I'm sure is quite a significant change. But it's not a short parade. It's a long, full-fledged event.
It's a full-fledged parade, absolutely. We stage at Alton Middle School in the pit. Staging starts about 8:30 in the morning. We actually get there about 8, but by the time everything gets set up and everything, it's 8:30. And the Optimist Club of Alton really helps us out quite a bit. They've been doing the staging there ever since I can remember being involved in it. Mm-hmm. And parade takes off right at 10 o'clock.
There's about 60 slots positions in the parade. Probably some of those positions have multiple vehicles. We've got some groups of Jeeps that have multiple vehicles. There's probably going to be 150 vehicles in the parade, I would say.
And it's usually a parade that's well attended too throughout the years. It seems like there's always a crowd up in the upper Alton area during.
It's well attended. Yes, absolutely. Right around Washington College and that loop that goes around down to Edwards, back over to Maine.
That's a great place to watch it from, that intersection.
It's a great place to watch it.
Because you get to kind of see it twice.
Well, before I was involved in it, that's where I used to watch it. So it's a great place. And then we go all the way up Washington Street to Locust Street, take a left on Locust, end up at the cemetery, back into the cemetery, and that's where it disperses.
And is there still a program that follows at the cemetery? I know there used to be at some point in time. Is that still happening?
There used to be. We do not anymore.
Okay.
There was a individual that had some ill health, and she carried just a wonderful job for years and years and years, and she's unable to. So we've stopped that.
So you already mentioned the Jeeps. Talk about some of the other things that folks will see. Are there actually floats like the Halloween parade? Certainly there are bands, but what? Just kind of a generic idea of some of the things that are actually in the parade.
Yeah, it's a combination. A lot of walkers. We are going to have the bands as well, some groups of Jeeps. We have primarily trucks pulling floats for a lot of the positions, a lot of military vehicles as well. So it's going to be a full, a really good representation to honor our fallen heroes.
And we have a nice announcement to make. There is the Alton Marching 100 when they turn, coming up college, and when they turn on Washington, they're going to play the national anthem.
Oh, cool.
So we're excited about that. We think that's going to be really neat.
One of the heavier populated areas, too.
One of the heavy populated areas, yes.
That's awesome. I
like
that.
158, right? 158
158 consecutive.
Consecutive. The longest parade ever. We're just saying
there you go.
that.
Okay. He's stuck on that. You're gonna.
I am now. We're fighting. What would you say on New York or something?
Well, there's others in the nation that say, I think one in Kansas, one in New York, one in Pennsylvania, that go back to 1868. But we're going with consecutive, and either way, going back 1868, we're in there. So it's a great honor.
How long have you two been, I guess, orchestrating the parade?
Well, East End Improvement Association is the sponsor of that.
Okay.
And we do the Halloween parade also. And we've been doing this. We took it over from the Upper Alton Business Association. And it's been approximately 15 years, I would say, since East End's been doing it. So
you have this 158 years. Do you guys have any pressure to any of that? Or you just love it? Just another day at the office?
It's a pretty easy. I won't say it's an easy parade. No parade is easy, but it's well attended. We have people that come back every year, several from groups from St. Louis, the Rolling Nobles, which is the A9 Robles. They are well attended, and people love them. Kids like them, the motorcycles. And so we have a lot of groups. If we haven't sent out the notices for getting in the parade by April, they're calling us. And typically I've gotten some calls back in January. So
Awesome.
So it's pretty I won't say self-sufficient, but
It's a well-oiled machine, and we've got an application process. We use email quite often, and it works well. So lots of responses coming daily right now.
Awesome.
Well, and you guys mentioned that you also, the East End Improvement Association also organizes the Halloween parade in Alton, and the Memorial Day parade always feels a little different, though. The Halloween parade is more of celebration and fun, and that's that. But because of what this parade is about, the celebration of that day, it has a little bit more of a solemn and patriotic feel to it, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
As it should.
Absolutely. And that's how it should be.
Do you strive for that in the folks that you get applications for, or do they everybody just knows that's what this parade is about?
I think pretty much everyone pretty well knows that's what this parade is about. We're remembering the reason why we're here. There's a lot of people that sacrificed, their families sacrificed, and everyone pretty well knows that.
So the just memories, you talked about the loop or whatever where you used to watch the parade. Do you have this? Can we go into some stories and memories that you had or things that happened in the past? Because I'm always just intrigued, especially when you talk about and you span 158 years. I mean, I'm sure there's some amazing stories of this parade.
Well, we used to, East End has been doing the parade, not as far as organizing the parade, but we used to do balloons, blow up balloons in the Alton Plaza there, and we stopped that when we started doing the parade. But that was kind of fun. That was a lot of fun. All these little kids would come on up and you'd hand out, and a lot of them would say, "How much does it cost?" And we'd say, "No, it's free." And they say, "What are you telling about?" So that was fun. But it was the bands, the Rolling Nobles, as I mentioned, is always a fun group. You always have a lot of people. There's one group that hands out popsicles, and they'll be back this year. They always want to be close to the front because of the melting of the popsicles.
What about the big draw of parades? Always are either horses or fire trucks. You got to have one or the other or both at your parades. Kids just love that part of it.
Lots of fire trucks. There will definitely be fire trucks. No horses at this point in time. We've been fortunate last couple of Halloween parades. We have had some horses. Okay. We would love to have the Clydesdales in one of our parades.
Oh, wouldn't that be neat?
We're trying to maybe achieve that this coming October at the Halloween parade. Oh, cool. One other tradition that we spoke about many times is we hand out ribbons for participants within the parade. Those ribbons are very important to everybody, and I'm not sure if anybody has collected all 158 of them or whether they were done in the beginning, but ribbons are a big
There
part.
is a group that has been in it for a lot of years. I don't know how many years, but they hang the number of ribbons on their window, basically, on the parade, and it's a full pack of ribbons. It's got to be at least 30, 35 years worth of ribbons.
Wow.
And, that's very important. I'm glad you mentioned that. We do hand out ribbons to participants. And one year I was going to stop it, and I was told, no, you don't stop that. And so it's been a tradition ever since. It's collectibles.
Yeah.
And so that's very good. I do want to mention, we do have a marshal. Marshal is Mr. Bill Varble. And Mr. Bill Varble, he was in Vietnam. And he was in the Rangers in the forward groups, and he was there from 68 to 69. And he'll be representing the marshals, and we are looking for a couple more, which I have some trying to get a hold of, and so I won't give any names as of yet, but we are still looking for a couple more marshals.
So have you found any folks that have come to you in recent years and are now part of the parade that say they grew up watching the parade, they were a fan, and now they wanted to be part of it. Do you have any folks like that?
Oh, yeah, and their kids are watching it now. And, you go down Washington Street, and chairs are out, the night before, getting ready. People are saving their spots.
Claiming their spot.
And the same way with the Halloween parade. And yes, and so parents are coming up, they have their kids, and we've had, older kids come up that have their kids with them, So, yeah, it's a tradition for families.
So tell everybody again what time it starts, and then tell everybody what time they need to get their chairs up there if they're looking for that prime intersection spot. Because there's probably a battle royal that takes place
early.
Sunday night. Yeah.
The parade starts at 10 o'clock Monday, the 26th of May on Memorial Day, and we start setting up at 8:30 in the pit. And I'm sure people will come before that to get in. And we'll be ready for them, and it's the route is basically College to Washington, Washington right to Edwards, Edwards over to Maine, Maine back up to College, College back to Washington, on up to Locust. Gets a little confusing there but it does have that square, and I would say, to get there early, there's really more spots than what you think there is.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want a seat and get in the front row, you better get there pretty early. Yeah.
Well, and if you want to avoid all that and spread it out a little bit farther, you go a little bit farther down College, you kind of have the parade all to yourself if you really get far enough towards the end of it. So might be some folks that want to do that easier in, easier out, transportation-wise, too, when it's over. So.
Well, that's one of the issues is and first of all, I want to mention the Alton Police Department and the Fire Department just do a wonderful job, and the Street Department also. So in conjunction with the Alton Police and Fire Department and Street Department, they just do a wonderful job day in and day out in the parades. They just make it fantastic.
Well, guys, thanks for being here. It's going to be a great parade. We already know that. There's been 157 of them that have been, so there's no reason to think this one won't be. And we'll look forward to seeing what you put out there on the table for us for 159 as well. That you probably just turn right around and get ready to start the next one, I guess.
Well, the Halloween parade is coming up,
right?
And it goes pretty quick between the Memorial Day parade and the Halloween parade and the Halloween parade and the Memorial parade. But we have a great committee on both parades. They've been with us for quite a few times. Greg is basically taking it over, and with his leadership and a lot of people know what they need to do.
Well, fantastic. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, thank you very much.
Appreciate it. When we come back, we're going to be talking about a Memorial Day celebration out in the village of Bethalto. We'll do that next.
We are
LC A2Z.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been a welder. Or I could have chosen business.
And welcome back once again to the A to Z Across LC podcast. My name is Jeff Alsman. My co-host is Cody Zipman. He's here as well, back in the seat again. And we have with us Tim Kallal, who is part of the organizing group that sets up the Memorial Day program in Bethalto. It occurs roughly the same time as the Alton Memorial Day Parade that we just heard about. Tim, welcome. In all transparency, I'm also part of that committee, but you do most all the real work. So we thought we'd bring you in and let you talk about what happens in Bethalto.
He was just telling us that. He was like, he'll say he's part of the committee, but I do all the work. Yeah, we had that conversation.
I believe it.
I mean, he knows you.
Well, he does.
Sure. All right.
Yeah. Jeff does. He comes around and he MCs for us and does all the hard work. I just kind of set up all the equipment and everything else, and he does the rough lifting. So
I don't know about that, but let's talk Memorial Day because the folks that we celebrate on Memorial Day, that's the real reason that we want to talk about the program that goes on there at the cemetery, Roselawn Memory Gardens. They're in Bethalto. Everybody knows where it is. If you go down 140 and can dodge the potholes, you're right there.
Actually, they got it all fixed.
I know. How about that? That was quick too. Yeah. So the potholes you can dodge now because they're covered up. But they were there for a while. But lots of folks come out to the program there, and one of the tasks that you always take care of is getting the main speaker, and you've got another one great this year.
Yeah, actually, the speaker this year is retired Colonel James Howell. He actually, my father-in-law, I had my brother-in-law come and speak a few years ago, and my father-in-law also is retired Air Force, and so this was actually his boss over at Scott. So we asked him last year, actually, the very end of the year, he said, I would love to come and speak. And so he's going to come and speak, and it just seems like a really, really nice guy. I don't know a whole ton about him. I just know he's also retired Air Force and just seems like a really good guy. But I know himself and my father-in-law ended their career out at Scott Air Force Base.
Very cool.
And it's kind of neat in the speakers that have had recently, especially having the military background gives a different perspective that the public doesn't always get to see. And these guys usually are real transparent. They kind of tell you, from the perspective of a military person, the importance of Memorial Day is, that it is to them. And it's just kind of neat to hear the different thoughts about, the spins that they put on it.
Well, and it's kind of neat just for the fact that, just like my brother-in-law is about my age, so he's about 50 or so, where my father-in-law and, his friend here, they have been generations before, so they've got to see different perspectives, of the military as they kind of went through. And I love hearing them kind of talk about stories and everything else when they're kind of doing everything. So it's pretty cool.
Is that kind of the goal? Like when the main speaker, do you look at that? Okay, we had this kind of perspective this year. Do we want to look into this, or do you?
If you want the truth, we pretty much just go and like whoever one of us, either Jeff, myself, Tim, whoever can grab the first person that we really think would do a great job, we just batten them down first because it's usually the hardest thing to do.
I was about to say, when you lock them up, you're like, yes.
We try to go a year in advance.
Okay.
Some people don't want to speak in front of crowds. They might be, can do everything under the sun, but just speaking in front of crowds sometimes they don't like to do.
Completely understand that.
Oh, come on, completely understand. Put a microphone in your face and you
here, but actually I'm in that group. That's like the character I play.
I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that at all.
Lim knows.
Yeah, okay. I think Lim knows for sure. So remind folks that last year it started an hour earlier, and it is going to again this year.
Yeah, for years and years and years before COVID, because I know that's what we always say anymore is before COVID. But we used to have a parade, and then we would go out to the cemetery afterwards. And I felt like some people would come to the parade, some people would go to Roselawn. So it's kind of neat now how everybody just comes to Roselawn because that's the real main reason we're there is for the veterans to celebrate them. We're out by the pond. We've been there for years and years and years, and knock on wood, that we'll not, I don't want to jinx us, but won't have that stuff we've been having all day today. So we've been pretty lucky every year, but we have a great group of guys that come out, and Jeff's real big in helping put this together, but the mayor has always come out, been great. Always kind of starts us out. We always have a pastor come out, and we've picked a different pastor from one of our community churches just throughout the Bethalto area every year, and we do that. The American Legion from Bethalto comes out, and then also the VFW Cottage Hills. They kind of do a tag team, half and half, and then they do the firing party kind of at, the 3/4 of the way point or so after the speaker speaks, and we present the colors and just make sure everything's ready to go. And then the band always comes out, and the Civic Memorial Band does a great job, and they usually send out close to 60 to 70 kids, and they just do a great job playing, like all of the themes from all the different armed forces. They turn around and play a bunch of other songs and everything such as that during the ceremony, which is awesome. And then Tim is a big part of, which he's not here today, but a big part of the Flyover, and we have our local EAA Chapter 684 that come out of the Bethalto Airport, and our goal every year is for a wreath to be dropped over top of the pond and land in the pond. kind of betting odds.
Have we ever
yes
hit the
or
pond?
No. We have hit twice, I think, since
okay.
I've been out there. But it's always neat to see those guys, and they put such a great effort into trying to tag it where they come across at a certain point in time. And Jeff always is really good to let everybody know that, hey, when whenever the plane's flying over, we might have to just stop for a second, and then this is just a memorial drop. And and then Kathy Wilson's also going to come up this year, and she's going to be a part. And we do a salute from all of the.
She's with the women's auxiliary.
Yes,
and they pass out carnations, and the folks can actually come up to a mound, a grassy mound that has a cross on it, and they can actually place the carnation. It's a real moving, touching ceremony.
It's kind of our small tribute to the tomb, kind of, I guess you would say, an unknown soldier. And no one is there, of course, but we make sure it is mounted up, and folks get to come up, and it's a great tribute, and it gets the whole everyone that's there. It kind of gets them to come up and be a part of the ceremony also. So it's pretty neat.
Funny story from last year during the flyover. We never know exactly when it's going to happen. We try to time it. We never know exactly. So I got word that the plane had taken off and it was on its way, and they said, but there won't be a wreath drop. And I said, why not? There was another speaker, and we were communicating back and forth. And when the plane went up, it blew out the back. And so we're not sure where we dropped the wreath last year exactly, but it was pre-event when the
I love that you have the story, though, that you don't know if you're going to hit the pond or not every year.
Well, that's the goal. It's almost like it's the bullseye.
I got
but
very cool.
Usually I remember one year it fell, and everybody there could see it fall. It fell somewhere into the middle of the cemetery.
Yeah.
Hopefully... nobody was under it.
The guys try to get close, and I'm sure with the wind and everything else that's going on, it's got to be a chore to try.
But the flyovers are great. I mean, the kids just are oohing and on over the.
Very cool.
And they're older planes too.
And we also, and what I was about to say exactly, Jeff. They have older planes. I don't know if you've seen them in the air around or not, but a lot of times in Bethalto, you'll see older. There's a couple of them that are yellow, and and they are like World War II planes, and they will fly and do a little bit of a tribute.
So there's like a P-51 going on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Cool.
Well,
do you have a fortress in that group?
I don't complain at all about where they drop those things because I'm not going up there. So wherever they drop them, I'm fine with it as long as it's not on my head.
That's cool.
But
it's real neat.
The big thing, we just always want to make sure everybody knows it's always by the pond. And we start, like I said, it would always been 11 o'clock, but now we start at 10. And so a lot of people, we've had the last 2 years, actually, we've had probably 100-plus people come out.
That's awesome.
Been great.
And you notice in the crowd a lot of folks, red, white, and blue, many of the kids waving flags. I think the auxiliary passes out the flags too.
They do.
They have in the past.
Cemetery we also do too.
Okay.
So we try to order extra flags and make sure that people have them if they want to pass them out and go out and put them on any loved one's graves or anyone that's in the family that had been a veteran. They can go out and put them on their graves afterwards and stuff too. And people always bring out their lawn chairs, so make sure you bring your lawn chairs. Be comfortable. There's plenty of shade right through there, so it's real nice.
And this is the 65th, I believe, correct?
65th, yes. Not exactly consecutive, but it's, we missed a couple years in there with COVID, but 65 years we've been doing it. And as long as I own the cemetery, we will continue to do it with Jeff's help. And I've got him wrangled in every year. Every year I'm like, hey, Jeff, what do you think about Memorial Day? I got to check. And every year he comes through for me.
Well, hey, you can tell us the real story. He'll be calling you to book next year after that. Hey, I'm in on that one. You sure you want me back? Yeah, I guess.
It's definitely a neat event. And it's neat because it's done early enough that folks can come out, have a blast at that event, pay tribute at the same time. And then they've still got plenty of time to go off and do, their barbecues or whatever they want to do the rest of the day. And we always encourage them to take that 5 minutes at 3 o'clock during the afternoon, which is across the nation, the time for everybody to pause and just do whatever they do to pay tribute. And it is a neat event, and folks seemed like it always a pretty good crowd.
Yeah, and we're roughly about 40 to 45 minutes. So by 11 o'clock, most of the time, folks are heading to where they want to go to after that. But it's a great way to start the day and remember why we're, having that day per se off, and who we're there to be thankful for, and the guys and gals who, went out before us and made sure that we have a free country, and we just need to make sure we remember them.
I agree.
Thanks for being with us again. It's Memorial Day. It's 10 o'clock. It's at the cemetery, Roselawn Memory Gardens. It's over by the pond. if you get there 9:30, 9:45, you'll be able to see the crowd. You won't be able to miss it, and you'll find it easily enough. And want to thank you for being with us and let folks know about it.
Come on, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that's going to do it for this whole season. We're wrapping up our season, Cody. We'll take about a month off. And
can we do that, Lem?
I don't think they can see it. No,
yeah.
It's like, well, awesome. Maybe. Anyway. But,
I like it. Can you believe that?
You took half of the season off.
Oh, here we go. It was like 2 or 3 shows.
Why don't you send us out and with a nice big send-off, because it's going to have to last all the way to July.
LC, I love you. We love you. We appreciate everything, and that is a wrap on season 2. We are
LC A to Z.